So
Please continue.
yes, thank you very much, Andrew. So I have stopped the share. I am opening up the floor at this time. I actually have queued up a couple of videos if anybody's interested in watching. Some of those videos I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation today that really launched us really back in 2019. But anybody can introduce themselves if they would like to. I'm glad to see Lisa Anise. You're still on the line today with us. But you usually leave a little bit early.
Well, I don't have another meeting for a half an hour.
Okay, excellent. Did you wish to introduce yourself then?
Oh, certainly. My name is Lisa Anise. I'm a member of the International Dance Council Division of UNESCO. Lloyd contacted me a year ago, well, almost a year ago, to ask me to share my contacts in hip hop culture around the world. I discovered that they were all practicing permaculture. And so I have been acting as the key to many different doors in this project, interviewing community-based organizations and non-governmental organizations on the ground. My role basically is to begin the vetting process for those who are eligible to take part in these programs or be diverted to other programs where they can make some positive change.
Thank you very much. Perhaps I can call on Violet to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we do.
Okay, my name is Violet Kechuku. I'm from Nigeria. So when I heard the program, I was so excited. I didn't know where to actually come in from. I'm actually setting up an NGO here in Nigeria where we assist the people that are being displaced, the people in the IDP camp. So we are looking at having a community where we can help them. There's so many things that they will be needing, like the children, most of them can't access the education. And the pregnant women there, they can't even access healthcare services. So most times we have complications because of that. So I'm trying to set up an NGO that can help and give support to these pregnant women and even those in the IDP camp, especially the children in their education. There is no room for their classes and they don't even have teachers that can assist them with their education and even materials for their education. And we know it's their basic rights. So I will see if I will be able to get support as regards to leaving no one behind as our team here. So we wouldn't want to leave them behind because they are being displaced. They are in a place where they don't have access to so many things. So I don't know where we can start because it's actually a long process. And I know it's gonna take a whole lot, but we can start from somewhere. So I don't know where this project can actually help us here so that we can start off with something. And then even the elderly care that I'm also looking at. Some people, because of time and so many things, they left their elderly ones being abandoned in the village. No one to help them and no one to take care of them. And you find out before you know it, they start developing mental health disorders like depression, frustration, anxiety. And some of the symptoms that we get before someone develops mental health disorders are something like pains, anger, rejections. And all these are what we find out that they are peculiar in the East. And people don't see it. They feel that it's a normal thing, that people can be angry, people can have pains. It's a normal thing in life that someone can get over. But some elderly people, they don't really have enough time to stay. So they really need compassion. They need people that will stay with them, people that understand them, people that have interest in staying with them. So we're also looking at volunteers that will assist in bringing healthcare facilities to them, even to check their blood pressures, their sugar levels, because most times we find out the reason why a lot of people die, and they say that, oh, it's because of she's old or he's old. No, it's because of improper medications, because checking of BP can actually help you to note when this person's high blood pressure is getting worse, so that you can look at some cases whereby the person, if it's something that is already very serious, you can take the person to hospital. But if it's some case that can be managed, you can just give the person the routine drugs. And all these are many things. But because of money and so many things, people just feel that it's not something that they can just put their resources into. So we have a lot of things that we can actually do at leaving no one behind. And I believe that we can actually achieve so many things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Violet. So I think we will have many more conversations, and I will introduce you to other members of our network. You mentioned the elderly, so we have a network for the elderly, led by one of our ambassadors in Uganda, and we also have Women in Feminist Network that I think you should connect with, people like Juliet in South Africa. So we have an entire support network that is starting to build, starting to be created. We are on WhatsApp, we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, but most of our conversations, of course, happen on WhatsApp because it is instant messaging. So we do have ongoing conversations.
Yep, Lloyd, I do understand that she's walking, but if possible, if she could put her contact information in the chat, then we can follow up. And we want to thank her so much for her work. We have multiple organizations in Nigeria. We look forward to finding ways we can work and network with you. And then I'll introduce myself shortly.
Did you want to do it right now, since you're the focus?
I guess I can. Excuse me. My name is Andrew Williams Jr. Andrew Networks has gone viral. This is a project that began almost 50 years ago with the intent to connect people around the world to what it is we're trying to accomplish. Please mute yourself. I'm unable to speak clearly. So let's see if I can find a way to mute our participants. All right, thank you so much. Again, this is Andrew Williams Jr. And Andrew Networks is hosting these weekly events for Lloyd Helferty. I did appoint him as a global goodwill ambassador focused on, excuse me, not just Canada, where he's from, but all of what we call Turtle Island, or all of the North America, or the indigenous people. This is the Indigenous Global Unity Network Summit that will be occurring through 2023. You can find out more about me at andrewnetworks.com. There you'll also find our humanitarian projects, but what you won't find is the fact that we're standing in the wings waiting to provide support for all the UnityNet projects once they reach a point where they're ready for prime time, so to speak. But again, I'm Andrew Williams Jr. I am known as also Prince Andrew Williams Jr. I was inducted as a prince by the Nigerians in Ghana, the Eze Igbo Palace, in August of 2020, also as a prince in the Akan Kingdom in 2020. I do also carry the honorary title of doctor, which was appointed by the Regnum College of Chaplains. So I have a lot of hats, but Andrew Networks is how you can find me. Thank you, Lloyd, so much.
Thank you, Andrew. It's always good to have that review.
Lloyd, if I could also say a word to Violet here. Violet, I have been doing intakes with all community-based organizations and non-governmental groups that are wanting to get involved in this program so that I can introduce them to what the process is and the internal structure that we're working to build. And I would very much like for you to contact me. My information is already in the chat, just above your own. And the sooner we get that started, the sooner we can get you connected to other groups.
Thank you, Ms. Denise. And for those who don't know how to save the chat, there are three little dots at the bottom of the chat window that you can press on those and click the save chat, and it will. If you're, I'm on a laptop. I don't know how it works on a phone exactly, but here on the laptop, I get a window that opens up right after the Zoom window closes with a text button with all of the information that was saved in the chat. So you will have everybody's contact information plus the links that I shared earlier as well. So I'm hoping to hear from Samson once more. Did you
Oh, wow.
this?
Thank you very much, Professor Lloyd, for giving me this opportunity to at least introduce myself. But first of all, I will say Happy New Year to everyone. As mentioned by Lloyd, I am Samson Oluoch from Kenya. I am a member of UNAD and also official or advisor of the UNAD board. I am also the founder and the director of Bridges of Hope Kenya, which is an organization that is focusing on community empowerment programs and also holistic agriculture and holistic education. We are also doing a youth program on ICT and digital development. Currently, I am also a member of UAUA. UAUA is Organization of African Union for Agribusiness. I'm a member of a steering committee, which is forming a platform that is going to ensure that the agriculture is the first step for Africa. I am also currently the Kenyan director for World Fund Development and Planning. This is an organization that gives support and funds to NGOs and also community-based organizations within Africa, and is supported so much with the World Bank and also American organizations. My area of work is East Africa and West Africa. So I believe within this year, I'll be meeting people like Violet in Nigeria, because this coming March, I will be in Togo, Senegal, and Nigeria. So I believe that as we are working together to give funding or grants to organizations within Africa, this platform will also help us to tap some blessings. Otherwise, I'm very grateful, Lloyd and Andrew. Actually, this platform has stayed and has helped so many people. Maybe to mention, it has really helped me, because when I met Lloyd in SOS Fellowship, which was also doing strongly, he introduced me to Carlos from Sierra Leone and also Andrew, and eventually the UNAD was formed, and it is very grateful. So thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Samson, very much for also helping to actually establish this network in the first place. It was through some of our conversations that we had in those early days of the pandemic that we decided that yes, we're going to do this. And it was discussions through the SOS fellowship that is led by Sir Bailey, Los Angeles. So I'm hoping to have Kaluyuti introduce themselves as well, if that's possible.
Siguli, Siguli Swagway Galakindi New Gets, Wagisli Wagi, Niwak the Loda Onida, Gwehwinege, Ani Bourgeois, don't say. Yanko, Yukodona. I always introduce myself in my original language. So what I said is, my name is Galakindi. Hello, everyone. I'm on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee, Delaware, and Huron nations, which is on the area treaty lands of the Dish with One Spoon. It's in the northern part of Turtle Island that's been segregated and relabeled Canada. And within the confines of that definition, I'm in a small section called Southwestern Ontario. This is my first time at this event, so I am grateful to be able to attend, and I say a big Yanko, thank you for hosting this and organizing this, because I think the work is really important. Some of the stuff that you're doing seems to be very similar to the community that I do, my community, and I'm in the part of what we call Kiva, which is the Kensington Village Association. So what we've done in our area is very similar in the sense that we've created a food forest within our local park that the community is actually responsible for maintaining. And so it's brought us as a community together and forced us really to kind of work with each other. We've also gotten to build relationships out of that. We've obviously understood our differences, as anytime you get a gathering of people together, you're going to have some differences. But we've worked through those. And after we saw the success of creating a food forest in a local park, we went onward to have members of our community actually provide space on their front lawns so that volunteers could go along and plant vegetables and spices and various sustainable healthy foods for gathering at the, so we planted, the property owners, basically all they have to do is water it, weed it once a week. And then we went around and harvested those foods and provided it to local organizations that have food kitchens that can create meals for low-income members of our city. And so that became quite a success in the first couple of years that we've done that. So the next project we did was creating an actual food hub that became a training facility so that we could actually get people who are either have disabilities or people who are from low-income families come out and learn how to actually plant and grow and harvest their own foods. That way it makes them more self-reliant, makes them create a source of food that's sustainable and healthy. And it's more about food sovereignty versus food security, because I think that there is a definition there that separates the two that we often forget. I think food security, and from my perspective, is great in the sense that we do need food for people, but it's more about the calorie intake and the source of it. Whereas food sovereignty is more about having control of where that food is coming from and taking that corporate mentality out of the picture and creating food that is healthy, or it's organic, and it's not based on profit. So I think that's a key part of the projects that we want to create in our community. So I see how much work has gone into and how many years it's taken us as a small, well, I say small, our city's only 400,000 people, all right? So in the big picture, we are still a relatively small community. But how much work it's taken us, because it's taken us probably about 10 years to get to where we are right now. And so it's going to take many more years for us to create the kind of network that we're talking about here. But I think the start of what you've done, from what I'm hearing today, is really the embryo of what could be a great network. And I really hope to see how far this goes, and if there's any way that our community can actually kind of participate and learn from what you're doing as well. So again, I want to say Yanko for allowing me to be part of this project, and thank you.
Thank you, Miigwech. I'm very glad that you've come on this call today with us as well. Are you talking about London, Ontario, or that area?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking that you might have mentioned. So I have been to London a few times. It is a few hours from here, where I am, just north of Toronto. If we're to go down the 401 highway, of course. We had a partner back. I was one of the co-founders of the original Canadian Biochar Initiative back in 2008. We had a meeting in Montreal, and that lasted for a few years but we had a good partner at the University of Western Ontario, which is now called, I think, Western University. And so the Institute for Chemicals and Fuels from Alternative Resources, ICFAR, was our partner there, and I would have meetings every once in a while at their off-campus satellite.
Yeah, one of the leaders of our
operations.
community is a professor at Western in sustainability, and
Okay.
Dr. Sass is part of our community, Gabber Sass, and he's really has been a leader in getting all of these projects kind of off the ground.
And we do have what I don't know if you saw the entire presentation I did, but we do have what we call the Global Sister Schools program. So we're hoping to connect all of these schools together, like Western University, and of course where I am, York University, and the colleges and the school boards, and connect them as well with schools in the US, in California, or for instance at Cornell University, and then also the schools across Africa, and anywhere else in the world. We want to bring
If I may,
the young
Lloyd,
people into the program.
If I may, I'm Andrew Williams Jr. I'm here in the land of the Tongva people, Los Angeles, California. But I do want to let everyone know that you can contact Lloyd to schedule a presentation about your own organization and activities. This has been going on since 2021. It's scheduled to go through 2023, but it will actually go through 2030. But we specifically selected the period of time. I'm near the airport, so excuse the noise. We selected this specific period of time because it is also the United Nations Global Compact that has outlined a 2021 through 2023 global strategy, and also an Africa strategy. And for those of you who don't know, if you'll simply Google United Nations Global Compact, unglobalcompact.org, you'll find that this was launched alongside the Millennium Development Goals in 2000 by Kofi Annan, who was the Secretary General at that time. It was intended to involve civil society along with businesses who are committed to corporate social responsibility goals in 4 specific areas: human rights, labor, the environment, and anti-corruption and transparency. So it is, in fact, that organization that I became involved with in 2011 through honorary membership with the Black Emergency Managers Association, with whom I have a lifetime membership. But when I was appointed as the president of 5 Points Youth Foundation in 2014, I did officially join that organization. So we launched a social media campaign starting from September 21st, International Day of Peace, in 2015 through December 31st, focusing on a Caring for Climate campaign to build a worldwide community resiliency network. We were successful in getting over 50,000 unique hits to our campaign through a network of over 100 Goodwill ambassadors at that time. On September 21st of 2019, we were looking ahead to this decade of action to deliver the SDGs. So Lloyd was one of the first of our dozen or so Goodwill ambassadors appointed to represent not only their local communities, but also their global footprint. For example, in Canada, Lloyd is not only representing his own country, Canada, but Canada is a member of the Francophone community, French-speaking community worldwide, as is also a member of the Commonwealth of Nations, and as you both mentioned, Turtle Island. So we certainly do appreciate and offer this opportunity for any of you to present Lloyd with a time when you will be able to make a presentation about your activities. But moving on to a more specific outcome, it is in fact my corporation, PARXTC Export Trading Company, that is the underwriter for all of this activity. And we're focused on social enterprise projects, not charity projects. Social enterprise projects that help to self-empower the people that are involved with us, particularly those in the indigenous and underserved communities. Right now, we have a footprint in Asia and the Philippines, where our headquarters is in the San Andreas Mountains. That is one of the most remote parts of the Tana Rizal area, but it's also near one of the most popular eco-tourist resorts, Treasure Mountain Educational Complex. But it's also the home where there's a remnant of the Negritos who originally founded originally inhabited the Philippines, and what's called Kalatubu, other indigenous tribes, and of course, Tagalog Filipinos as well. So we have a footprint there, and we've just been asked to develop promotions for the Congo. And Lloyd earlier mentioned Kwanzaa as a recent holiday event created by Malenga Karenga here in the United States, actually only a few blocks away from where I am in the Leimert Park area of Los Angeles.
Oh, you accidentally muted.
In 2012, my visit to Bermuda, which is the closest landmass to what we call our Ma'afa or Holocaust, or known as the Middle Passage. We constructed a social contract called the Kwanzaa Accords, based on the fact that it was the Kwanzaa River area of Angola, which was then part of the Congo Kingdom, from which the first enslaved Africans arrived in Virginia on August 25th of 1619. So we constructed this Kwanzaa Accords so that we would give appreciation to those 7 basic universal principles that Malenga Karenga defined, but we committed ourselves to address each of those 7 principles 7 days a week for 7 cycles of 7 years. Remind you, this was in 2012. The idea was to align our project because Kwanzaa bridges 2 years, the last of the day of the year and the first day of the year. So our intent was to align ourselves with the African Union's Agenda 2063. Our first 7-year project was focused on the first principle, unity, Umoja. We are now in the second transition, Kuchi Chigulia, which is self-determination. But on behalf of the fact that this is the last year of the African Union's Agenda 2063, first 10-year implementation plan, and we have only 7 years left in the push for the Sustainable Development Goals, which I might mention is only the second iteration of the Millennium Development Goals for this entire 1,000-year period for us to achieve peace on Earth and peace with Earth in order for us to move forward to leave no one behind. So with that having been said, I will put my contact information in the chat. I look forward to finding ways we can work and network with all of you as we go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andrew. So it's always good to, again, get a little bit of a history on where we came from, what we are doing. I'd like to ask, I think there's one person we have not yet heard from, that is Malaika Gabriela, who is in Uganda. If it's possible for you to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, we would love to hear. I believe Violet would love it if you were able to say a few words about what you have been doing as well.
I am here. Yeah, good evening, everyone. And I think and I believe I'm bold enough. I'm louder. My name's Malaika Gabriela. I'm from Kampala, Uganda. I am so honored to be part of this meeting. I think we are making more than 1 year in this Thursday meeting, the IG meeting. I've been one of those people who have been blessed to be part of this meeting. And in Uganda, I am part of the UnityNet Africa and Diaspora Uganda chapter, where I serve as the Vice President. And at continental level, UnityNet Africa and Diaspora, I'm the continental treasurer. And I also have an NGO that is a non-governmental organization that advocates and supports the needs of the elderly, that is 60 years and above, and the orphan vulnerable children under their care. And we've done different activities in support of this marginalized group of people. We support them health-wise, that is healthcare and medical outreaches for them. We also do humanitarian crisis. We also do advocacy and capacity building. We also support the overseas. We also do agriculture and nutrition, especially for these elderly persons. And I'm really honored and blessed because through this meeting, I've been learning a lot of things to help me better the communities that I am serving. And at the same level as well, lately I am part of the UnityNet International member. I am a member. And also when we come to Andrew Network, I'm also a team member in that team. And also at the national level in Uganda, I am also a member at the National Council for the Older Persons and the National Platform for the Elderly, where we advocate, we have the advocacy for these older persons. And I really see where we've come from to date. We are moving somewhere. We are learning a lot. As many brains come together, there is one or two things that we keep on picking up to improve ourselves so that we can aim higher and we get better results in whatever that we are doing, in whatever we are doing in our purpose or in what we are supposed to deliver at the community level. Otherwise, I am so honored, once again, the organizers of this meeting, and I'm also humbled to be part of the meeting after the first IG meeting, 2023. Happy New Year once again to everyone on board, and belated Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, Professor and Prince Andrew, for organizing this meeting. From my end, that is all.
Thank you, Malaika, so much. Malaika is also actually the treasurer for UnityNet Africa and Diaspora, so UNAD is known. I'd like to mention or ask if Doris might be able to introduce herself as well. I don't think we have heard from Doris.
Thank you so much, Professor Lloyd. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Happy New Year to you all. I'm Doris Kamagara. Good evening from Uganda. Doris is my name. Basically, I work with children under the foundation, Bagashi Children Foundation. The foundation works with basically children, but alongside other activities like maternal health, because these children come from these mothers. So also other activities are extended because of the children and where they come from and their sources. I also am a member of UnityNet Africa and Diaspora Uganda chapter, where I serve as the Vice Secretary. I'm happy to be part of this meeting, and indeed the very first meeting in this new year, 2023. Thank you so much, Professor Lloyd, for keeping us posted and exposing us to other communities, other societies for our developments. We are so much humbled, and we pray all will go well in this new year. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Soros, for continuing and engaging with the rest of the UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. I believe there is one person we have not heard from, and that is Usita. Is it possible that you could also introduce yourself, Usita? And if not, what I was hoping to do, as I mentioned earlier, was perhaps close out our sessions today with a couple of videos. I'd like to see if I can also share my screen one more time and just play these final videos. I believe I did share my sound last time as well. So these were the videos I mentioned that sort of began all of these conversations back in 2020 during the pandemic. So I will play these two that I had queued up earlier. Give me a second. Let's share this for everybody. We'll close, perhaps close the day today. This video.
We cried just like you cried. We heard just like you heard. We smiled just like you smiled. We loved just like you loved. Can't you see we are all the same? Hating on each other will never gain. One love, one heart, one people. One smile, one cry, we're all equal. We are one. We are one. Don't let them divide us. Don't let them defeat us. Can't you see we are all the same? Any life taken, we feel the pain. One love, one heart, one people. One smile, one cry, we're all equal. We are one. We are. Let's come together, come together, come together as one. One love. Let's come together, come together, come together as one. One heart. Let's come together, come together, come together as one. One people. Let's come together, come together, come together as one. Let's come together, one love, come together, one heart, come together, one people. Let's come together, one smile, come together, one cry, come together, we're all equal. Let's come together, come together, come together as one. Let's come together, come together, come together as one. We are.
So that was the first video. It was very moving the first time I saw that one. And it really does reflect the words of that song. It reflects what we are trying to achieve in terms of an understanding that all people are equal. So I'm just seeing a quick note in the chat. Lucita, would you wish to also introduce yourself as well? So that we know who you are, where you are located, and what your projects are all about. And if not, I can play the last final video of the day for everybody, which again is reflective of the program that we are trying to initiate through UnityNet. So let me just share the screen one more time.
Reaching out to the world. Beautiful people, this is our beautiful home. Planet 911. Allow it to approach the danger zone. We love the earth. We love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it. And care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth. Yeah. Our world, don't hurt Mother Earth. No. Our world, our earth, Mother Earth. Our world, don't hurt Mother Earth. This is the moment to heal the earth. Say it loud and make we believe the words. Cause we are one blood, we say one love, peace and unity, one world community. Let's pick up all the pieces. Start cleaning up the beaches. Stop cutting down the trees. Erase those carbon footprints. Let's clean up all the rivers. Start plowing back the earth. Plant another tree. Step forward to reality.
Hoy por hoy la tierra nos necesita, pidiendo auxilio muy fuerte el planeta grita. Detengamos su destrucción, estamos propiciando nuestra propia extinción. Danger zone, this is your moment to hold the earth in harmony. We are one blood, one love, one people. Let's live in peace and unity.
We love the earth. We love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it. And care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth. Our world, don't hurt Mother Earth. Our world, Mother Earth. Our world, don't hurt Mother Earth.
It's not yours, not mine. It's ours. So protect your mother who nourished you. Nature is our treasure. Oh, save it. Plant a tree, even if it's your last.
We love the earth. We love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it. And care for and respect respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth, our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth.
Yeah, we have to control the climate change. The weather now is crazy, don't you find it strange? We need to stop the war, not the crime and the rage, and get on a united page.
Universal love we approach. Says pollution on the ocean and the beach. Unite the globe and the goal must rage. Each one teach, one rage.
Seres irracionais que se acham demais, destruindo a flora, a fauna e nossos animais. Enchentes, furacões, vemos por todo o mundão. Catástrofes, calamidades, mais vidas se vão. Vamos valorizar água, terra, fogo e ar, pra poder futuramente nossos filhos criar. Independente de cor, partido, time ou sua crença, vamos todos nos unir, fazer uma grande diferença.
Feel we make a change, we have to be the change. Oh, we recycle, we garbage, have to rearrange. Save the trees and stop the wildfire blaze. You love the earth, then make me see a banner. The earth, we love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it, and care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth, our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth. Our time now for sacrifice. Cause global warming a melt the ice. We need to stop pollution from black the sky. So make we break the silence, together we rise. We are fury, we approaching the danger zone. Care for your planet, cause you know say it's your home. Push your flag up in the air and wave it round. One aim, one destiny, one we earth. We are living in the danger zone. Planet Earth is our only home. The 1% wants to live in space to destroy the human race.
Raise hands for our rights, forever unified. Take care of our life. Oh.
We love the earth, we love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it, and care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth, our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth.
There's nothing greater than a mother's love. So let's protect our Mother Earth and give her what she deserves. Yeah, listen when me say, no, it's not too late. We can make a change. If we just keep working together, we make a difference. It's for our children, gotta make a better day. Move the youth, be a half a day.
Shoutouts from Danger Zone, Border Splash, and Generation Hip Hop to Team Planet 911.
We love the earth. We love our planet.
We have a planet.
So I guess that will conclude our presentation today. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending today, the IGU Summit. And this was our first week in January. Continue this every Thursday.
Just a note for you, there, Suvista from Sri Lanka has put some notes in the chat. I don't think we'll have a chance to review his presentation today, but perhaps we can schedule a time when that might be possible, Lloyd.
Absolutely. I know that Susisa has sent some proposals, I believe, to my email. He is a connection that we made through Lisa Nice. He is in Sri Lanka, so we are hoping to establish a hub there as we move forward.
Well, as you close out, Lloyd, I'm still having technical difficulties. We're inundated by storms here, but if you close out with our opening slide, I would appreciate your assistance to that.
Okay, absolutely. I'll just do that right now. Go back to the presentation. Give me 1 second.
And thank everyone for attending. We look forward to connecting with you as we go forward. Please contact Lloyd if you'd like to make a presentation. And we'll follow up with you individually if you would like to. Contact information in the chat. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, and a happy 2023 to everybody. And we're hoping that we will be making some very good progress in this year.